here is to like talk about developing website. But before getting into the detail, since in the early stage you have like much more attention and the later part you might be sleeping, so I will introduce myself in a little bit visual way. You definitely got a little bit introduction about me, but if I'm not doing what I am doing most of the time, organizing sessions, talking about JavaScript and all this stuff. And other than this, before actually COVID time, I used to jump from the sky because there was nothing better than this. And then also was doing some running because this is a very good way to stay away from home. And then if I'm not doing all this stuff, I used to like to have a 10,000 volt shock. And this is really shocking. So if you need like more shock in your life, let's have some 10,000 volt shock. Definitely I like to share whatever the limited knowledge I have. And this was all good before 2020. And once this 2020 started, things take a little bit turn. So I get inside my closet, pretty much similar setup, and spend pretty much day and night over there and focused on the mobile app. And it's grew a little bit. We are close to 1 million users for this. And 2020 also put some focus on my YouTube channel. And feel free to check out those. And this is pretty much what I do. And our mission overall, this is series of discussion. So the first one goal for today actually would be developing a simple company portfolio website, very, very basic one. But we will learn the very, very basic part of it. And then we will take it to the next level to build a company portfolio. And eventually by the end of this session, we will have a live working site that we can share with anyone. And after that, the next session, we'll be talking about some responsive, mobile-friendly, but a selling website, kind of like a very simple version of e-commerce site. And then we'll be going through like how you will build a small shopping cart by exploring JavaScript. And then eventually, at some point of time, you need to make it a dynamic website. So based on data, it would be making website much more interactive. And then we will talk about React and e-commerce website. We will get familiar with some of the backend technologies, and eventually we will build a small part of a agency website. And definitely we will have fun. And what about today? If you ask what we're gonna do today, definitely we'll start exploring HTML. And I have a just to start at very, very, very basic level, I made this assumption that you guys never built any website or isn't familiar with what is HTML, CSS, or anything like that. So for that purpose, so I will switch back to my computer. And here, let's say I will go with simple projects, and then I will create a new folder here, and then this would be our folder for day. Maybe I will name it as a company website, something like this. And here we will do a very basic way, just right click, because all we know about just this computer, and we click on this new text document. And I can name it anything. So this is my first. And after that, there is something called TXT, which is a full form of text. But for some weird reason, we want to change it. And we will name it HTML. And if you press enter, then it will warn you that, hey, do you want to change this last part of it? And if you pay attention to it, you will see that this is a different icon. And if I click on yes, then it became something different, which looks like an website. And if I click on this, this will open here. You will not see anything, but you will just trust me that it says first.html. That means something related to this. So by this way, you are able to create a website without doing nothing, pretty much just changing a file name, and your website is pretty much empty, nothing in it. So what we can do right now is to right click on this. This is very, very simple way, and you open with Notepad. And if you are doing it for the first time, you need to like choose other app and then find the notepad and then eventually open it. So once you open, you see like this is your first.html. You can start typing it like here, look mama, I am building website, something like this. And after this, all you need to do is to click on save. So you can save either by going to the file, click on this, or you can press Ctrl S. So from now on, I will press Ctrl S and you will see if it is not saved, there will be star marks on it. If it's saved, there is not be star marks. Come back here and we reload this guy. You'll see some text, whatever you have written, I'll make it a little bigger, is showing there. Now you could be excited that, okay, with just 1 minute, you are able to build the simplest website on this world, but at least you got something. Now you could be really, really pompous. You might be very excited and you can say like, hey, Zuckerberg, I can build a website as well. Something like that. Or maybe you can challenge Google, I know your secret, because you can develop website. Save this guy and you reload this and the text is here. This means whatever you build the website, you can change it. But if you pay a little bit attention that here, you have written like this is one line, this is the second line, and this is the third line. But here, everything is next to each other. That means even if you said, hey, Zuckerberg, don't be friend with Google. They are different. And maybe don't do something with Apple, because you guys have to fight all this time. And then you make much more differences, much more extra lines. You save this guy, you come back here, they're mingling next to each other. That means this website is not listening to you. You are not like full control of it. And the reason it's happening is if you go to like, say you are very excited, you live in the north side of India and you go to the south side of India and you found someone very exciting, interesting, maybe very likable, and you are kind of in love and you started like proposing to this person, hey, I like you, maybe I like your cat, I like your dog, I love your dad, let's go for a date, something, and that person is not responding. Why? Because that person is not understanding your language. Maybe that person is speaking Tamil and you are speaking in Hindi or English. So there is a language barrier. And right now, the same thing is happening between you and the website. You're saying to keep a distance because this is a COVID time. It has to maintain a 6 feet distance for the healthy COVID reasons, but it is not listening to you. And for that purpose, you need to understand the language of a website. And what is the language of website? The name of the language is called HTML. And if you paid attention, when we saved it like HTML. So what is the meaning of HTML? It's called hypertext markup language. That means this is a language. This is the way speaking, that we use a language to speak, write, or communicate. And this is the way website communicates. And that's why it says a language. But it's a little bit hyper. It's not as usual like in all other languages. It's a little bit hypertext. That means it can connect with each other through going one place to another, and it uses some markup. But if you don't pay attention like this, HTML is actually a very romantic language. The reason it's very romantic language, if you look in HTML web like code or tag, you'll see there is like a one person is another person. They are standing next to each other. So it's very kind of like a romantic relation. So that's how HTML is such this way. So this is one person, this is another person. And pretty much almost like 70–80% things in HTML is just like this, 2% facing next to each other. And what will happen is like a 2% is next to each other, they will have a baby. So that's why this is how every HTML tag ends. So this is how it starts, this is how it ends. But the fact is that pretty much every person is a little bit different. So if everyone in this world has the same name, right? You could not be identify all these different person. So you need to identify them little bit separate way based on their task, whether they are business person, maybe they are a programmer, entrepreneur, business, or maybe like a MBA degree or whatever they do. So, so same thing you need to keep in mind. Now think about whenever we write some kind of text in any website, and that thing is called a paragraph. If you write paragraph, and this is how you will write paragraph, and the paragraph starts with the letter P. So in HTML, if you want to write a paragraph, you will use this, the first character of the word paragraph, and that's why it will have P, and it will end with P with a slash baby. So this is how you create a sentence. Think about a sentence in this language, and if you type anything in between, so for example, paragraph, in the middle of these two, they are called tag, and you save this guy, you go to your website, you reload it, you see paragraph in a separate line. If you don't do this, say for example, you remove this, save this guy, come back here, they're all put together. That means this is the way. If I do undo this, maybe I'll do this again here. And that means you are telling website, hey, this is supposed to be a paragraph. And once you say this, website understands that you are writing a paragraph. And if you say this guy, come here, they put a separate paragraph. It's not only one paragraph, you can make other guys paragraph as well. The rule is very simple. Start with P tag and end with P tag with a baby there. That's it. So now there would be a separate line. And anyway, say for example, Zuckerberg, you want to put him inside a paragraph, you can easily do that. So this is the very first part of the HTML world that we want to know. Then we want to know about, like, not every person is the same. So like Elon Musk is really big in the news these days. Mark Zuckerberg is not that much big, and maybe Bill Gates is like hiding somewhere. So everybody is not getting the same weightage. Right now, every line is pretty much similar weightage. So you want to distinguish, some people are newsworthy, some people are not. So in that case, you are creating some headline or heading. And heading, if you think about heading, it starts with the character H, and not everyone is the same heading. Someone is like a too much heading, less heading, something like this. So in HTML, there is like a different rank of heading, and H1 is the topmost, then H2, H3, H4, H5. And if you keep remember this, this is the structure, and you can do, for example, heading here, and the first tag would be H1. This is the topmost heading, and the end would be pretty much similar. Just instead of P, you would be write H1, and here you might write like an Elon Musk with a face mask, something like this. You say this guy. Now, if you reload it, you'll see Elon Musk is like much more bigger. He's getting a lot of attentions for Tesla, SpaceX, or GameStop, or whatever he does is getting a lot of attention. But this is the topmost heading, and if you don't, Jeff Bezos doesn't get a lot of free coverage. So what he will be, he may be like a second heading, and you say like a Jeff Bezos, you are in AWS, or whatever you say, and H2. So the rule is very simple. Whatever it starts here, it will end the same thing with a slash. And we can create another one like an H3, and this is maybe like a Bill Gates H3. And there is like an H4, H5, H6. And if you come here, you reload this, you'll see like all this text has like a different level of highlight. Someone is like much more bigger, and then was less bigger, something like this. But your website cannot be only text. It needs some kind of images. Images is a very important part of website. So if you go to any website right now, the website I visit most, might not be you never visited there, is called programming-hero.com. And it has a lot of images, right? And the two way we can use images is like take an image from internet, or we can have an image in our local computer. And here you can right click of any image and then open image in new tab. You click on this guy, you click on this header to copy the link, come back here, and there is a second type of tag where you need to define something, but it is a little bit different than this. And if you think about image, you'll see like the highlight of this word is IM and then G. And that's why to create an image in your HTML website, you will use the image tag, something like this. If you want, you can close it like an IMG, that's fine. But most of the times you don't write anything in between the image. Rather, you will tell, hey, this is the image. And that purpose, most of the developers are lazy. They don't write this part. They write something like this. And in the image, you have to tell image, hey, where is the source of this image? And the word source, so URC, but you can say SRC is the short form of the source. And you will mention that source is equals to, inside two quotes, you will just paste this line. And this is the link of the image. So right now we are using image from anywhere in the internet. If it is like openly available to public, you can put here and you can display it. Save this guy. Now, if you come to this website that you are building, right now there is no images. If you reload it, image would be here. And later we'll be able to resize this image if needed. And now we will, our website, if you look into this website, other than the image, it looks very dull and boring. But not every website is like that much dull or boring. If you go to this website, it has some color. The text has some color, some style, and you can have like much more colorful. Like nobody likes in black and white TV anymore. So to change it, you need to add some style to your website. And adding a style is very simple. You can easily create a tag to put all your style. This is kind of like you are adding makeup to your website. So to add makeup, you need a makeup box. So this style tag is your makeup box. And before getting into the detail of this makeup, you can think about like makeup is, the way you will makeup is like, say, for example, you need a lipstick. That means you are taking a lipstick and then you apply it. You're adding some values on your lip. Maybe you have like a face gloss, you apply, you take the glossing, you apply it. That means you need some kind of makeup and then it adds some color in it, or it adds some properties. Maybe you have some extension of your eyes, or maybe you have some hair liner or extra fake hair, not fake hair, extension of hair, in a nice way of saying it. The summary is that you are adding a visual elements with multiple things. And everything on your face is adding a value, and all together creates a representation of you by adding makeup. And here, if I think about some kind of makeup for all this paragraph, that means we are adding makeup for the paragraph. And since we can add multiple kind of like a makeup together, we need to bundle them together. And to bundle them, we are putting them inside a row. And that row is like this. So all style that will be adding to paragraph, we are bundling this together inside this row. So here is mentioning that where we want to put this style, and this is like what are them inside a bundle. And here you can mention few things with just 4 different parts. First thing is like you want to add some color, and that color, and then you put like a colon, maybe red, and then semicolon. And if you do up to this point, we save this guy, we come here, we reload it. You see, wherever you have this paragraph, it got this red color. If you want, like, I don't like red color, I like maybe green color, or I like blue color, anything like this, you can change the color. Say you want the blue color, you save, you reload, this becomes blue color. So you have this freedom. There are much more than this, but you can actually see that how easily it changes. Not only that, say like you can have like multiple other styles. Say for example, all this paragraph, you have a, say for example, this paragraph, say here, this paragraph, you want to make it much more bigger. So here we have this, and then we copy this and we paste it multiple times. So you come here, this website, and we see like this is much more, it's a large paragraph. But for some reason, you don't want it to take the whole width of the website. Maybe it should take half of the width. In that case, you can tell in the style, said, hey, don't take all the spaces, take half of the space. So you'll say here, another line width, and then 50%. Or sometimes you can say like a pixel as well. But the structure of every style you are adding is same. The name of the style, a colon sign to separate, okay, this is the style property, a colon, and then the value, that means the blue color, red color, whatever, or the width, what is the width. Maybe sometimes you have like different types of style, and whenever it ends with semicolon. So if we do this, we come to this website, we reload it. Right now, before reload, you see this is going the all width. If you reload it, if we style, maybe we didn't save it. If you don't save it, it has a static sign. And if you save it, we come back here, we reload. Now this has like half of the width of the website. And sometimes if the style name has like a 2 word in it, something like say font size, that how big it would be looking, or maybe background color, or maybe font weight, something like this. In that case, the style name usually have a hyphen in between. Say for example, all the paragraph, maybe we'll do style on the H1 right now, or H2. So let's do like an H1. So H1, we want to add some color. Here we would be having like a color red. And we will do like some background color. In that case, let's do the color first and see that Elon Musk becomes really red, and we want to add a background color. So background is 1 word and dash color. There is like a background color, and you can put like say maybe yellow. It will look a little bit ugly, but we'll do this way, and here we'll put a semicolon as well. We save this guy, come back, we reload it. Now Elon Musk has a yellow background. It's not Elon Musk, it is like every H1 tag. And sometimes, for example, here you have like a style for every paragraph. You might not want that. Rather, you want like, okay, I want to choose my close friend, not every person in the classroom. Maybe 4 or 5 is my friend. I want to treat them separately. So in that case, all you have to do is to come back here and say, if you have like a, say like we create another copy of this, and maybe this would be other than this would be myself or something like this. So here you have like, say you can, if you look into this here, you will see how many paragraphs here. Here we'll see you have like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 paragraph. And if it's right now you have a style, these two style for all the paragraph. And if you come here, you'll see like all this paragraph has this same style. But in some cases, you want to style only this guy and this guy. That means you put a small class. And a small class is like you write the class equals to inside the colon. This is maybe a close friend, something like this. And use the same one as a like a class. You are adding them as a different class name. So this is my same class or same group of people. And this would be close friend. And here, since we previously was applying style to the paragraph, in that case, we are typing just P. Here, we want to add style to a class. And once we want to add an style to a class, we will type the name of the class, the close friend. And then before writing the name, because this is not a tag, this is only a tag. Here, this is the paragraph tag. So you'll put a dot, and this will indicate that this is a class. And if you add some style, say background color, maybe green, something like this. So if I write it correctly, come here and reload it, you'll see only these 2 paragraphs got this background color, not all other paragraph. They are not my close friend, only these 2 is my close friend. And you can go and change somewhere else as well. Last thing we want to check about the style is to say, for example, we want to do some changes here. Say, for example, Bill Gates, we want to do some changes in H3, and we want to make them as a center align of the page. So right now, by default, all the text is like a left align on the left side. So if you center align this H3, all we can do is to tell the H3 tag here, you need to align the text. So if the text align, since this is 2 word, that's why there is a dash in between, and we'll say like a center. That's, you need to go to center of the page. We save this guy, we reload. Now Bill Gates in the middle of the text. And not only this, for example, here we have this close friend, right, class. Here we put this class for the whole paragraph. In some cases, you want to do like, say, for example, you want to only add an style to this part of the text, like the first apple, that's it. In that case, what you usually do is say like, okay, I want to create a special tag in for this word. And that's why you will say like, this is my span. This is my small span of my paragraph. And you will end with like a span. And here you can add this class. So you will say like, I want to add a class is equals to close friend. And right now you add this style only this part of it. Here, if you come and save it, only this apple got it because you applied only this part. So not only you can add the style to whole tag, you can make a smaller part, you can apply a style there. And the last thing we would like to see is to, for example, add the style a group of things. Say, for example, here we have this H2 and we have a paragraph here. Amazon jungle. That means you like Amazon jungle. Now, definitely you can add style to this separately, or if you want to bundle them together, there is a one way to bundle them together is to put them in a box, and that box they call as a div. This is like a division or part of the document. So here you will say like, okay, this is my div. So you will start with the div, and here you will end it as a div. That means all these two things is inside this div. And now if you add the style class, like your close friend or whatever you want to do, save it, and you will come here, you'll see these two. Where is this? Maybe I made some mistake. Slash div close friend, I didn't put the quotation here. So I put this and then I reload, and you see like both these two get the background color. So what we have like talked so far, let's have like a quick recap of the things we talked so far. We started a very simple way, just right click and then create a new text and then change it as an HTML. And then we knew that HTML is nothing but a language for the website to understand what I'm trying to say. And the things I can tell to the HTML website is that, hey, you need to make a paragraph, and the paragraph, the word paragraph starts with a P. That means you need to create a tag of P. And since this is the tag, and HTML being a romantic language, it has to be inside this parenthesis box or angle, whatever you call, greater than or less than. In between, you write P. And that indicates the HTML or the website that this is supposed to be a standalone paragraph, and it is very health conscious. It wants to maintain a 6 feet social distance and whatever you want to make. And not every paragraph is same. That's why you create some headline H1. And this is the bigger one. H2 is little less, H3. You can use an image as well. That means you can get any image from the internet, and then you can add a style. And to add a style, you can style add to all the tag paragraph, and every style needs 4 parts, which is the name of the style, which is the color, and then a colon, then the whatever the style value you want to apply, and then semicolon. This is a call a style rule. And not only like every tag you can style, if you want, you can definitely do P and these things. You can select some of the text. It could be the similar or a different kind of text, but you can apply a class. And that's why we created a class close friend. And if you add this style to a close friend, inside the style, you need to put a dot before this. And while in the HTML tag, you can do in a paragraph, any tag, you can add like a space class, and then inside quotation, name of the class. Don't put like dot, just the name of the class. And then if you want to put it in the part of a text, you create a span tag, put the class, and whatever the text in between that span tag will get this style from this class. Not only that, the last thing we saw that you can group together multiple HTML tag together and put them in a container called div, and then you can apply one or more style over there. So that's pretty much all the basic foundation that we need to start creating our first website, because we are here for the business. We don't want to waste time. Time is money for us, and we want to build the next billion-dollar company. So we will not spend too much time on it, and we will not use this ugly tool either. We will use a brand new tool that pretty much all professional developer uses, and this is called Visual Studio Code. And you can go to this link and then download Visual Studio Code, and this is free. You don't have to pay. That's why actually Bill Gates is not the richest person, because he gave this for free. If it is Jeff Bezos, you would have to pay like a $250 per month or per order. And that's why, but this is the most popular one, and I would be using it. And if you just download for you based on your computer, you will have this installed. And to start it, you can, if you have, after installing it, you can go to your start menu and then type code, and it will show up, and it will be something like this. So this is what it would be doing. And what we can do, we can create, we can open the folder that we created. So you can click on this open folder. And then in my projects folder, I have this company website. So I just select it and then select the folder. This would be opened here. So this is actually the first HTML that we were showing, but it shows like much more colorful. It actually, if you forget what is the blue look like, if you are a color blind person, this helps a lot for you. And then it looks much more prettier. All the tags are highlighted and useful. But this is not the structured way to create an HTML website. So for that purpose, we'll create by using this Visual Studio Code. Click on this new file icon and we'll create a file called index.html. You do this, and index.html has a good structure, and it has like 4 different parts. And since this is an HTML, it always starts with an HTML tag. This is the root or the main tag of an HTML file. And it has multiple parts. One part is the head tag. This is all the head related, your brain. Think about human body, all the brain and function, connections to external things stays there. Then it has some body tag, like a human body. And then you can add some footer in it. Sometimes people has like a header tag in between for the website as well. But since as a developer you would be, or as a website developer, you become a little bit lazier person, you don't need to do all this stuff. All you need to do is start this exclamatory sign, which is like shift 1. And then if you press tab, it will create the structure for you. And here you will have this like an HTML tag, you have the body tag and all this stuff. Here you can give the name of your website. In our case, we will create a brand new business. This is our exciting launching the business, and our business is Heart Mechanic. We don't know yet that what Heart Mechanic will do, but we are very excited to start this business, very early stage. This is Heart Mechanic. And if you have some issues with your heart, feel free to come to our companies, because we have really, really good service. And another thing we need to talk about here is that previously, since we are a very early stage developer, we put the style tag inside our HTML file, which is totally acceptable. But there is a better way of doing it, is to create another file. So in that case, we will create another file, and this will be style.css. Just you click on this a new file and then start typing the name. And since you create this, there are 2 separate persons. Like one is the index.html, another is style.css. You need to link these 2 guys. So here, if you just come inside the head tag and start typing link, because you are creating a link between these 2 files, and then you go a little bit down, link, and you are linking a CSS, and you press tab, it will connect your style.css with your file. So that's pretty much we got here. So for our website, since I'm not a designer, so I got some resources, and I will get those resources for our project, and we'll be definitely using those. So let me get those resources quickly, and I will share those with you guys, so that if you want to share that, feel free to use those, and I will give the link in the end of this session. So I have all these images, and then here I copied those to here to my company website, and I just paste this. Everything is inside the images folder, and we'll be using one by one. So first thing we will say, like we will close this sidebar so that we have like a little more spaces. Here we will create a header part of the website. Pretty much every website, if you go here, for example, you go this guy, website has like a main header, have some text, have some images. Pretty much every website has something like this. So what we will do, we are working on the index.html file, and here we will create a header, and the header will say we will have like a 2-part, and every part of a website you can put it inside a box. So it would be like a left side. Here we have the left side, we have a right side. So we'll create like 2 boxes. The first box is the first div, and second box is the second div. And this part, we have like an image. And to write the image tag for Visual Studio Code, it makes you lazier. So if you just type img and press tab, it will create the tag for you. You don't have to like type this angle brackets and all this stuff. And here from the images, and slash, there is a banner image. So we put the banner image here, we save this guy. And this is our index.html file. So to see it, we can go to our folder and double click on this, and this would be open in our website. And this is for the heart mechanic, we have this image. So that's good, because heart mechanic, we need to work with heart and make some interactions between person. And here you can have some business tagline. And here we can say like, this is a H1, and then you'll say like a we fix, and then you can select a broken heart. If anybody has a broken heart here, don't cry, we are here, we will fix your heart. And if you go here, you will see like these two is like one after another. It's not like next to each other. So the way we can fix it is to like in some website like this. So for example, if we go to, this would be our, maybe this side or 3, okay, maybe this the one. Okay, maybe we get out of this one, but anyway, we'll get this programming here. So if you come here, you will see that this is half of the width, this is the half of the width, they stays next to each other, not one underneath another. So you can come here and add some style here. So for example, H1, your text is a little smaller as well. You want to text a little bit bigger. So since you have the style file separately, all you can tell like, hey, H1, I want you to grow a little big, become a bigger person. So in this case, you can say like the font size to be 70 pixels, something like this. Save this guy and come to your website and look at this text. You'll see this got a little bigger. So it's still this H1, and then the image in the between, one after another. One is the on the top side, one is the bottom side, and they are very rigid. So you can tell them, hey, whatever inside the header, become a little bit flexible. So you show in a flexible way so that one goes next to each other. And to do so, here you have this everything inside this header. So we'll call here and say, tell the header that everything inside the header, you need to display in a flexible way. So if you do this flexible way and you come here, you reload it, now they are a little bit flexible next to each other. And you can do a little bit, so like maybe make it a little bit colorful. And you already know that to make it a little bit colorful, you can put in a span tag. So I select this text, Control X, I type span, press tab, that becomes a span tag. I paste it as inside this. Now my just broken heart is inside this span text, and I can add some class here. And this is maybe like a color red, something like this. So I'm adding a class. So class name is color red. And to provide the style here, this would be color red, the same name. And here we say like a color is equals to red. Maybe you don't want to have this dangerous red. You can just hover over on this, and then you can choose a different color, say something like this. It will be much more romantic color, changes like this. Save this guy, come to your website. Now this has a different color. Maybe you want to put this in a separate line. In that case, you will come here and then put like a line break, and this is called BR. You are creating a break, and you put a break, it falls to the next line. That's it. It's very simple way you can do it. Come back, now you have this broken heart. So now you can do like a few more things. You need to make this like a vertically center text align, and then you can justify, and it looks pretty much amazing for you. And to do this, you can come here, you can say like align items center. That means you want to align the items in the center, whatever the space. So you save this, you come and you reload that, this becomes in the, whatever the space you have, it becomes the center in the middle of it. And now you want to put them in the center of the available space. Right now, all this part is falling on the left side of it. So you can say like here, I need to justify the content, and you can do it like a different way. We can do like a space evenly, a space between, space around, or center. There's multiple values you can do. We don't need to explore everything right now. Right now, we are just seeing that how easily you are adding something, it applies, adding something applies. And I don't expect you will remember everything. Rather, I expect you to come back, see it, follow it when I would be, when this session is done, you'd be practicing alone. And in this way, you'd be able to understand it by doing it again and again. Most likely you are not you are not like me, that you will cannot remember everything. So if you reload this guy, now it's a little bit reasonable in the center of the page. So pretty much we got something here that we fix broken heart, but we might want to make the text align in the center. We can easily do it. We can say like align items means like whatever the items inside, they will align them, but it will not align the text. So you can say like a text align, or you can create a separate class as well. Here you can do like, say, for example, I get another text center, something like this, and you can tell the text align to be center. You can do the same thing in multiple ways, but I take this name class, save this guy, come back here. Previously in this header, I don't have any class. I can add a class here if I want to. That class is equals to text center. Save this guy, come back, we reload this. Now this text is the center of it. So you will see that how easily we were able to create this header part of a website. But the most important part for our business is to provide the services, because we need to tell people that these are the services we are providing. I'm sure you guys have like amazing services as well. And for that purpose here, we'll create maybe this is called like a main part of the website. So we'll create a main tag. You don't have to do it, but we're just creating it as like a main part of the website. This is the header part of the website. And inside the main, you will have multiple sections like services, maybe customer feedback, maybe something else, and maybe about us, contact us, and all these different informations. So you'll create a different section of your website. And for that purpose, you will create a section. So if you write that SEC and then tab, it will create a section tag for you. And here you can have like an H2 tag. And then here is like our services. So you want to provide them few services. And inside this, if you just up to do this part, you reload it, you have our services. Maybe you want our services to be a little bit bigger. So this is your H2 tag. So you can come here. This is H1. So you can like a H2 style and font size. You want to increase the font, and that you want maybe like a 50 pixel, something like this. Save this guy, come here, reload, it's big, and that's it. You tell them to grow, it will grow. And maybe you want the text to be center aligned, you can do those part as well. But anyway, so we got this header, and now we want to put like all the services in a box so that we can do some fun about it. So that's why we create a box. This is a div, and inside div we create a class. This is, we calling it like a services. This is all my services. And if in a services means like you have like a lot of services, and you put every services inside a smaller box. So for example, you ordered 3 items. What they will do, they will take the first item, maybe some bananas, maybe some oranges, maybe some tomatoes. This is tomatoes in a separate bag, this is separate bag, this is separate bag. And they will not ship you like 3 bags separately. Rather, they will put all 3 things inside a box and then ship them together. And that's why this is all your shipping box. But here you will have multiple smaller items. So this would be your service 1. That's why you create like a div, and maybe you will give it a class name like this is an item or something like this. And this item will have an image, will have like a text and those information. So you can say like, I want to name this service, which like an H3. And since your business is to fix broken heart, and the first thing you will be fixed like all-time broken heart. So there might be somebody that has like an all-time broken heart, and you want to fix that person. And you, with the service name, you would like to write some description. So that's why it's that paragraph, and you can type total description here. But if you don't have like a written text for right now as a placeholder, you just put some text there so that you see that how does it looks. You can just write like a lorem, and if you want like 20 words written here, you can just type 20 and then press tab. In that case, Visual Studio Code will create 20 lines of random text. It's a meaningful text, random text for you. So far what we have here is your services all-time heartbroken and some text here. But always for your service, it's good to have an icon or an image so that it becomes much more meaningful for the audience. So we got a meaningful image as well. Here we will type the img, and in our images folder, we have something called all-time broken heart. So you can guess there is an all-time broken heart service your audience, your target audience can relate. And this is, if you come here, you reload this, this is all-time broken heart. This is forever broken heart, and your challenge as a business organization is to fix this. But you see, this text goes to like all the way there. It doesn't look that much prettier. So to make it prettier, you can add some style because you already put a class item. So we can just add some style here, and we can tell like a item, you don't have to be go all the way, all this side, your width would be 25%. You save this guy, come here, you reload, like it becomes like much smaller. And you can add some kind of border in it. You can some kind of things to know then this is the whole item for this box. And the way you add a border is to, one way is to like, you can say like a 1 pixel and the style of the border. The first one is the width of the border, how thick you want, maybe 2 pixel, 3 pixel, 5 pixel, 10 pixel. And how this would be, it would be solid, and it would be different, some color you can mention. So for example, red. Here you come, you reload this, this is the whole border looks like. And what you want to do to make it prettier, you want to make this as a, like a center align. So we already have like a text center. We can just apply it here if we want. So here's like a text center, something like this. Save this guy, come here. Now they are center aligned. And you already have another class here, is called color red. So if you want to make this text look a little bit brighter, you can add this class color red. So it becomes like you write something and the style in a class, and you can use whenever it's needed. That's how it becomes much more easier for you. And this becomes like a red color. And then maybe you want a little bit a gap between this here. When you have a box and you have like a, or whenever you are younger, you have a lots bigger shoes. Maybe some of you as is not the eldest son of your family or your eldest daughter of your family, and you have to use the shoes that your brother or your elder sister uses. Now you need to put some extra cloth in the shoes so that your feet can stay in the shoes. That's you're adding some padding. And here you can say like, I want to add padding here in my item. So all you have to do is to tell padding, and that padding would be say like 20 pixels, something like this. Save this guy, come here. Right now there is no gap. If you add padding and reload, there is a padding in between. So that's how you do stuff. Maybe to make it fancy, other than a border, you can use a shadow. And box shadow is like interesting. So you can say like, I want a box shadow, and the shadow, you need to define where the shadow will go. So if you have a light source, like right now you shadow in my face, that means it has an X distance, Y distance, and how spread would be the shadow, and what is the color. So we'll say like the shadow, right now we do like a 10 pixel X-axis, 10 pixel Y-axis, and it would be spread like 40 pixel, and we put like a black color for now. Save this guy, we remove the border, and we added a box shadow. We reload guy, you see like this is, doesn't look that fancy, but at least it works. So other than black, I usually use like gray or light gray to make it little bit interesting. So save this guy. Now I reload it. Now it's much more little bit meaningful, and these corners are very sharp, so you can make it make this little bit rounded, and so very easily you can say like a border radius. So since this is a 2-word, in that case you add a hyphen in between as usual, and this is maybe 10 pixel border radius. Here, save this guy, come back, you see there is no sharp edge here. So but anyway, as a company, we got like one services up here. Maybe we'll put our services in the center as well. We can do it here. We have here, so we can already have like a text center. We can do like a class text center. That's it. We already wrote the style. So if you put this, it comes in the middle. So we got like one service. That's not enough for us. We need multiple services. So definitely you can copy this guy, and then you can paste in between, or in the Visual Studio Code, you can use some shortcut key. which is like Alt Shift and down arrow. In that case, whatever is selected, it will make a copy of this. So press Alt Shift and down arrow. Alt Shift, down arrow, it creates exact copy of this. So you save this guy. If you go to this website, you'll see like two of them. Next, it's not next to each other, but one underneath other. So what you can tell, like this is all your services. You say like, hey services, whatever inside you need to be flexible. That's why it would come next to each other. That's it. So like the similar thing we did for the header, here we will do for services as well. So here dot services, and we make it display flexible. Save this guy, come here. Now these two services next to each other, and then maybe we'll add, we cannot provide the same services. People are very smart. They will know that you have all-time broken heart and the next service cannot be all-time broke heart. It could be something different. So you might guess that what is the next service? So in our case, our next service is occasional broken heart, that you have some occasional cases that you are occasionally broken heart. We can fix those. And in our case, we have like occasional broken heart as well. So create the occasional broken heart image. And if we reload, we'll know that who is our brand ambassador of occasional broken heart, because this person hearts is broken very frequently. And this is good, but sometimes you want to get more services. Like ideally, you need to have like 3 to 5 services when you are kind of getting started with your business. So we will create another services here. So I select this guy and then I copy and paste, or I use the shortcut key Alt Shift down arrow. So right now, if I just go to the website, I have 3 services. Since I copied it, this is here. But what we can do, we create another option of this. And this is the third category of the broken heart. And what that would be, maybe evergreen broken heart, because some people has like a long time broken heart, but they are happy with it. So we will add a representation of evergreen, and we save this guy, we come back, we reload. Now this is our representation of evergreen broken heart. And since we are heart mechanic, we'll be doing this. And these 3 services is like very next to each other. We want some gap between. So previously what we did for our style here, for the header, we did like space evenly. We can use exactly the same thing here. For the services, we say like, okay, justify content and then space evenly. And if we save this guy, come back, now they have like a little bit gap in between, and it looks very reasonable to me that this is the header, our services, you have like all-time broken heart, occasional broken heart, evergreen broken heart, but your service is not enough. You need to give them some proof that you already served some people, you have some customer review, customer services, or successful customer. And to keep it simple, we'll use the similar structure that this is our 3 services, and we will have like this the same style for successful customer. So this would be like exactly the same part, but it would be different information over there. So what we will do, since we have this part already ready, this section, so our services, all this information, this is like all-time broken heart, this is occasional broken heart, this is evergreen broken heart. We select all the text and we want to, you can just press Ctrl+C and go down and Ctrl+B, but I will use the shortcut key, which is like Alt Shift down arrow, Alt Shift down arrow. So you see that you have this one section for our services and new one was copied. Don't press multiple times, then it will be copied, and it will go forever. So I save this guy, come to the website, reload it. Now you see you have like a 2-hour services, but we don't want this second as our services. We can mention it as our successful customers. These are successful customers. Customers add some reviews. So this is your successful customer. And since you want to represent successful customer, you have to add some customer reviews. So the first one we will change that this is not all-time broken heart. Rather, we fixed innocent broken heart, because some person was innocent, but for some unfortunate reason their heart was broken, and we fixed those. And that's why we'll change the image. and this would be innocent broken heart image. We save this guy, we go to the website, we reload this, and this is the innocent heart broken of this guy or this dude. Heart was broken, but we fixed it. So this is our first customer review. This is our successful customer. The second customer, and that will just change it. This is just changing of the text, and that would be we fixed excited broken heart. So sometimes, like, the person becomes very excited and their heart was broken, but we were able to fix it. So we change the image and change the text for our service. We reload this guy, and this is another person's heart that we fixed. But we need usually like a 3 customer services or we have 3 customer services and 3 customer review. And for that purpose here, we'll change this one that we also fixed Playboy broken heart. So like there was some kind of like Playboy, and we fixed that person as well. So this Playboy broken heart, and now if you reload it, you'll see that you fixed this heart as well. So that's the way you actually, it's not like the best website in the world, but it is something. If you want to change the font of the text, you can easily change. Say, for example, here, you want to change the text for everything. You will make it like a body tag, because everything in your HTML is inside the body tag. And you can change like a font family. That means the font you want to show, and you can go to Roboto. If that is not available, you want to set the Arial or a few other fonts, and you save this guy. That means you are adding the style of the font if it looks a little better. So right now it looks like the default font. If you reload this guy, now it looks a little better. All the text is a little bit different. If you change this text a little bit smaller, you can definitely change it. But so far what we see definitely is like this is a banner, have some images, the services this organization Broken Heart is providing, and they have successful customer. If you want to add some more text, you can add here. Say, for example, you had the footer, and maybe in the footer, you can make the text in the center, say like a class text center. And here inside a paragraph, email us. Maybe you provide the email address of your, in our case, since we are Broken Heart, our email address like hotglue@heartmechanic.com, something like this. So hotglue@heartmechanic, and if you put this at the bottom, you have like email us here. This is the footer, but footer could have much more information. So far I will have like a quick review of what are the things we have done here. We did little bit quickly, but I'm sure if you rewatch this, you'll be able to connect that all we did is to create a header section. We have like a division where we have the main tagline of the business, and then image is another tab and another div, and we go to the style and tell this is our H1, and then we want the header to be flexible so that it stays next to each other. We want the text to be center. That's why we put like align items in the center, and all two part, we want some space in between, and we tell like, okay, space evenly. And we add some color, and that's how it appears as like a sum of red color. Then we slowly build the services that we are providing. In our services, we had like 3 different services. This is the first one, second one, third one. We put them in a div. We add some padding, border to have like a border is rounded, and we have some padding, and then we had some box shadow so that it looks like a little bit popped to us. And we have some images, we have some service name, and some fake false description about the services. And then we started like copy pasting. Since we got a good pattern of one thing, we started copy this one, create the next service, and we have the whole services sections. Once we have the whole services sections, we copied the whole thing to modify little bit to create this one, and eventually we have like this email address here. But this is not good enough. This is currently in my local computer, right? I cannot share it to anybody outside of the world, because if I share it, this is not available to other would not be able to see it. To make it available for others, you need to go to a website called github.com. There are multiple ways you can do it. The easiest one is to use the GitHub. And GitHub, you need to create a profile. It will send you an email to verify your account. And once you have done this, you can log into the GitHub, and then you can go to your profile. Right now I have my profile here, and this will show you something like this, all your repositories, whatever you have. And if you want to create another one, you will see a new button somewhere. Also, you can click on this guy and create a new repository. And you, in our case, usually whatever is the folder name, I give the same name. The folder name is company-website. So here we will give like a company website, something like this. And then you, since you want to share with other people, make it public and create a repository. It will take a few seconds, and this is not the best way to work with GitHub, but since we are very, very new learners, we'll do a shortcut way of doing it. And here you will see something like upload existing files. It's not recommended way, but since we are very early stage, that's why we are doing in a easier way. So we come here, we have all these resources. Maybe we will just copy all this, select all this, and then drag and drop here. So this will upload all the files, the images, and our fast and index and style.css, everything here. And all you can do is to commit changes. That means you are telling the GitHub that, hey, I give you all these files, you need to add those here. So it will take a few seconds, but it should be ready. If you start counting from 19 to backwards to 1, most likely it would be done. So start counting 19, 18, 17, 16, 15. Okay, it's done. Then the last piece you need to do, you see, look at this. What is this? This is called main. But we don't need to understand, just look at this main, and we go to the settings. And if you go to the settings, if you scroll a little bit here in the down, you will see like GitHub pages. You click on this one, and then you select main, because we saw main there, and you click on save. And if you save it here, it will, if you scroll back here, it will give you a link. Sometimes the link is available right away. Sometimes it gets available after 3, 4, 5 minutes. But I click this in the mouse wheel so that it opens in a new, and this currently is not available. After this, I can just type index.html if I want to, but it will take few seconds or few minutes, keep reloading. Maybe after a minute, sometimes it becomes available. But this is the way you would be able to have like a live website. So sometimes if I'm impatient, I select on this, I just right click, I will do it again. I right click, I go to the inspect, I click on this, hold my mouse, it gives some information, and then empty cache hard reload, and I do it few times, and then it appears if I'm impatient. Otherwise it appears. So right now the link here is actually, you can give it to anybody. If I copy this, or even you don't need actually the index.html, sometimes it just works without this. But if you select it, Control-C, go to like incognito mode, or give anybody, they would be able to visit your website. So this is what the company website is built on. So I want you to do definitely re-watch this video, practice this along with, and after that, I want you to create your own website, like for your organization, your business that you are working on, so that in the next few days, you have, if you need some images, you can collect those images for your services based on your business. And if you have some example case, and if you want to put your like a friends and family, or it's called like FNF, friends and family and fools, whoever believe in your business, definitely put their images over there so that you have it. And also I want you to explore a little bit HTML and CSS. So you go to YouTube, and your task is to find good resources like HTML and CSS for beginners, and then just randomly watch few videos. And they would be talking a little bit differently than I was talking, because everybody has their own way of teaching. But eventually, after watching 3, 4 videos, you will realize that everybody is pretty much talking about the same, how you would be able to create an HTML tag, how you would be able to maybe add some style. And then all we have done is like 30 lines of style, and then a lot of copy paste, but about 64 lines of HTML with some basic knowledge. And definitely, I don't expect from you to code the way I did, because I've been doing it for a few years. And for the beginning, you will make some mistakes. It will not work. But always feel free to go back to these sites that's here. You could be able to go to Programming Hero, github.com/programminghero/ company dash website. If you go there, you will get all the resources that I have used. Even you can look into the code just by clicking on this code. Everything I have coded so far. If you want to look into the styles that I have coded, you can see it here, all the codes here. And if you want to look at the images, all the images are here as well that I used. So that's pretty much I wanted to share with you guys. Now I will get back to you guys. If you guys still awake, and if you're sleeping, I don't want to interrupt. Please continue sleeping. And if you have some dream or if you're snoring,